Hey, what's up everyone, my name is Feather and welcome back to another video, and today I'm gonna give you some tips on how to get the most out of your iPhone battery life. So let's get to the point. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. It's tough to think about what we would do without a smartphone in our hands because these powerful and tiny devices contain so much of our lives. Our phones make our lives much easier, so we want to make sure that they're always ready to go when we need them. So I got 25 tips for you to get the most out of your iPhone battery. Low power mode is super useful and it reduces features like email fetch, Hey Siri, background app refresh, automatic app downloads, and some visual effects. You can turn on power mode by going into settings and battery or adding a button for it on the control center. This is life-saving and will make your battery last longer on a single charge. There's some debate over how much Hey Siri actually uses. With this setting on, your iPhone is constantly listening to you until you say, "Hey Siri," for Siri to spring on into action. But one thing is for sure, it uses power because when you turn on low power mode, it actually disables Hey Siri. So to turn it off, go to settings, Siri and search, and toggle off listen for Hey Siri. There are many features that make the iPhone what it is, and one of those features is background app refresh. This feature looks at the apps you use the most and the time of the day that you use them. Then it updates those apps so that the next time you open one of those apps, the latest information is waiting for you. Let's say that you check the news every day at 8 a.m. Your iPhone knows that and it automatically updates the news apps so they're ready for you when you open them. Though this is incredibly useful, it also drains your battery. To turn off background app refresh on the iPhone, open the settings app, go to general, background app refresh, then choose background app refresh and off, or toggle the option off for any specific app that you might want to turn off. An iPhone can vibrate to get your attention for calls or other notifications, but to vibrate, the iPhone has to trigger a motor that actually helps shake your device, which of course uses the battery. If a ringtone or alert is set up on your device, vibration is not really necessary. Instead of keeping vibration on all the time, only use it when necessary, like when the ringer is off. To turn off this feature, open settings and go to sounds or sounds and haptics, then turn off vibrate on ring. Your iPhone, assuming that it's a 5S or later, can use the ambient light detector to tell if it's facing down on a surface or in your pocket, and it will not light up the display when you get a notification. For me, this tip has a huge positive impact on battery life. There is a huge myth that quitting the apps when you're done using them is gonna save battery. Let me tell you, it's not. Quitting apps can make the battery drain faster because relaunching an app over and over uses more battery than letting the app run in the background. If saving battery is important to you, you should let the apps run in the background. App suggestions use your location to figure out where you are, and it uses this information to determine which apps you might want to use based on where you are. This feature uses extra battery to maintain your location and communicate with the App Store. This feature can be disabled from the settings app, so you go to settings, Siri and search, and turn off Siri suggestions. Your iPhone automatically updates apps as the new versions are released. This is super convenient, but it's also a big battery drainer. I think it's better to update your apps manually, but this option should be off if you want the battery to last longer. To turn off automatic app updates, open the settings apps, tap iTunes and App Store, then turn off updates. Here is another big drain. Being out of a cellular signal makes your iPhone constantly hunt for a connection, and this in turn is a massive battery drain. And under iOS 14, this actually put a big load on the battery. So turning on airplane mode is a great way to stop the battery from draining. Live and dynamic wallpapers might look great, but they also affect the battery life. Sticking to still wallpapers only is an easy way to save iPhone battery life. This one is super easy. When you're selecting a wallpaper, don't select images on the dynamic section. Instead, select the wallpaper from the still section or your camera roll. The built-in GPS on your iPhone is super useful, and it gives you directions and locate nearby stores, restaurants, and other places. However, like any feature that sends data over a network, it uses battery. So if you're not using location services, I would strongly recommend to turn it off, because it will save you a lot of power. To turn off location services, open the Settings app, go to Privacy and Location Services. Select Location Services and tap Turn Off to disable it completely, or scroll down the page and deny location services for individual apps, which is what I personally use, and I still get to save tons of power. Your notifications are draining your battery. Yes, because they wake up your iPhone and turn on the display. Go to Settings, Notification, and choose which apps can push notifications your way. And I would strongly recommend to limit the number of notifications that you get for many reasons. One of them is battery. The visual effects that low power mode reduces or disables are the motion and transparency animation effects that give you a sense of depth as you tilt your phone or open and close apps. To do this, go to Settings, Accessibility, Reduce Motion, and tap the toggle switch to turn on Reduce Motion. Sending diagnostic data on how a device is working or not working is what helps Apple improve its products. This is helpful because it helps to make improvements all over iOS, and this is also something that you can actually choose when setting up your device. To prevent the iPhone from sending diagnostic data, open Settings, go to Privacy, Analytics and Improvements, then move the slider for Share iPhone Analytics and Analytics Data to the off position. Personal Hotspot is a great feature that turns your iPhone into a, hotspot, and it lets other devices connect to the internet through your iPhone. It's super cool, but it's also super battery draining, especially if you're not using it. To disable the hotspot on your iPhone, open the Settings app, tap Personal Hotspot, then turn off the Personal Hotspot toggle switch. This is a super obvious one, but sometimes we just forget about it. The display is the single biggest strain on your battery, so reducing the screen brightness will make your battery last longer. When you're not connected to your Wi-Fi network, your phone is constantly looking for networks to connect on, which is why the list of available networks constantly gets updated, because it constantly is looking for a network to connect. The quickest solution is to shut off Wi-Fi at Settings and Wi-Fi. Remember that if you do this through the control center, the Wi-Fi won't be off, but it will only cut the connections to Wi-Fi devices. Just remember to turn it back on when you have steady Wi-Fi or you're home. Same as Wi-Fi, if you try disabling Bluetooth through the control center, it won't be turned off. Apple needs to keep the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth on for features like AirDrop, which takes me to the next point. Similar to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, if AirDrop is enabled, it's going to be looking for devices to connect to make the whole AirDrop process as fast as possible. You can also turn AirDrop off from the control center. Press down slightly on the menu options on the top left, tap AirDrop in the menu that appears, and choose Receiving Off. If despite trying all these tips on your iPhone, you're still finding yourself running out of battery quite frequently, like for example, your iPhone battery going from 23% to 4% in a matter of minutes or seconds, your iPhone might need a battery calibration. Luckily, this is super easy to do. Apple recommends that you drain your iPhone's battery to 0% and then charge it up until it's completely full. You should do this at least once a month. This process, called calibration, helps your iPhone estimate its battery life more accurately. Calibrating your battery will ensure that you know when you need to charge the battery. Fast chargers are great. They're super convenient and they can take you from 0% to 50% battery in just 30 minutes. But fast chargers also degrade the battery faster than regular chargers. So on the long term, your battery will run out faster because the fast chargers affect the overall health of the battery. So that's 25 tips on how to save battery on your iPhone. And if you happen to know any other tricks, please let me know in the comment section, as I would really like to know, because there's all kinds of tricks to save battery. And I love saving battery. And on that note, it's time for me to go. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit the like button, and if you subscribe, that would be awesome. Anyways, thank you for being here. I hope you guys are all doing great, and I'll see you on the next one.